Earned a coin. Cool. Your nation thanks you, President Iron says absently. Up close, you can tell she is distracted by the various communication feeds flickering through her internet-enabled monocle. I throw the coin in her face. I keep the coin in my pocket from now on, but show it to no one. I have the coin mounted and displayed on my desk. I'll just keep it to myself. You find it difficult to talk about your experience in the war. There are people who would call you a murderer. Others would call you a hero. Neither fully understands, and you feel the weight of both titles. Gold is heavy and cold. When you see a commercial on the web advertising the latest sugary drink or hear a summer hit about teens wanting to get it on, you sometimes wonder whether you inhabit the same world. You inhabit. There we go. Okay, there we go. I'm just dumb. Inhabit the same world as your fellow Americans, who seem to live in some alternate universe that is more light-hearted and shallow. But then you feel the coin in your pocket, and you know that this is the same world, and you bear that cold, heavy weight so they don't have to. The shallow Americans around you are testaments to your success because you have protected them from the shadow of death. Now that the war is over, what will you do? Or requires grace. I want to build a robot that knows how to love. Requires empathy. Begin a rebellion in Alaska. Requires 20 military. I'm afraid I've done all I can. Sure. Well, I've been going the empathy route this entire time. Might as well finish it off. You're tired of seeing robots used for war. You want to show the world that robots can love as well. Will your companion be male or female? Oh, so I'm making one for myself. What the fuck happened to Curry? Alright. So am I going to create... Well, Curry was always more of like a daughter figure, I suppose. So am I gonna like make a female robot and then like adopt Curry? What will you name her? Sure, we'll just go with the default, I guess. I don't know fucking what names to give things. Are you looking to have a companion with whom you can be romantic? Sure. You have crafted Flame to look like your concept of the ideal woman. The process of creating this wondrous robot took a lot out of you, but you learned much from the experience, plus 4 grace. She is truly a masterpiece, painfully beautiful to look upon. Like Sleeping Beauty, Flame lies on the floor of your bedroom, awaiting your touch to awaken. Chapter 6b, Empathy. So this is one of the 4 endings, because that's what it advertises there for. So there's the one for the military, the one for the grace, and then for the other one. Alright, so this is the ending that I got. It is the year 2034. Really? How old am I? I'm 39. Damn. I could run for president, right? Is it 30-something or is it 40-something? I don't know. Holy shit, my humanity dropped so far. And I'm rich as hell. And the grace is impressive now. It is the year 2034, 5 years after the war with China. Robots that look like humans have become the new hot technology, albeit one that is still decisive. Homecoming veterans took advantage for a generous government program where those with post-traumatic stress disorder could have a government-provided robot work in their place indefinitely. This only added to the perception that robots were stealing all the jobs when the truth was they were being given all the jobs willingly. The years since you created Flame have been very happy ones for you. You created Flame to love you unconditionally, and she does. You live in San Francisco, a city of drastic inequalities brought about by the robot tech boom. It's where you need to be for work, but it isn't necessarily the best place for Flame. On the other hand, you got a fairly good deal on your mom's place, which has been recently remodeled so that the whole place is both smart and remotely reconfigurable. You decide to make the interior of your house a deep blue while you were working this morning, and by the afternoon, the nano-machine's transformation was complete. You were hanging balloons in your mom's place for a festive occasion, a tasting party. No robot you've made until now could taste food, but you've just finished a prototype artificial tongue. It's not the most necessary thing in the world, but you think your robots ought to be able to enjoy food with others. There is something primordial, you think, about the ritual act of sitting down to eat with another person. To eat but not taste seems somehow like an impolite shame. No more, your robots will taste. Which robots will try out the tasting sensor at this party? I'll make them for both. You feel lucky that robot technology has never been hotter thanks to the ramp up in robot technology over the last war. You're able to provide for both your robots thanks to the money you make from working for Josh. Curry, the more adventurous of the two robots, appears to have tried more tastes than Flame already. Like siblings, they seem to have settled into niches in competing for your attention. What? Flame now tries to be more human-like, while Curry occasionally flaunts her freedom to be strange. So, wait. I don't get it. So I created Flame, and it ended up just being exactly like Curry. So I essentially made a second robot. Did you try dirt? Curry asked Flame. She walks behind the younger robot who is putting out plates. Dirt tastes very interesting. I don't think people are supposed to eat dirt, Flame says uncertainly. Sure they do, Curry says. It's called pica, and it helps people get essential vitamins and minerals. I read about it on the internet. Flame gives you a worried look. We're not going to eat dirt tonight, are we? What kinds of foods will you serve to introduce the robots to the wide world of culinary delights? Wine and cheese, simple wholesome tastes, fresh bread and fruit, desserts. I think the robots will appreciate those the most. The weirdest stuff I can find, I'm curious to see whether the robots will like it as normal. We'll just get some regular food. That's baking bread you smell, you tell the robots. You feel it's best to teach the robots simple pleasures that all people can enjoy. The better to relate to everyday people, plus to empathy. You bring forth plates of fresh oranges, plums, grapes, and pomegranates. You check on the bread in your oven, your long-nourished sourdough, whose starter you had to tend for weeks as if it were a strange infant, is finally baking alongside a baguette. Oops, that's already done. You take it out, and a crackling rye. Okay, the way that was just a little bit weird. There's a shave and a haircut knock at the door. That must be Eiji. You answer it. Eiji has managed to retain a youthful appearance into his late 30s. He's still wearing a red bow tie, an affectation that he's had since college. But he manages to make it work with the button-down shirt and khakis. With a smile, he raises his hand in a diffident greeting, and you can see ink all along the side near his pinky. He always draws freehand without the use of a tablet and the advertising agency. It's a skill the younger artists often don't have at all, but a look that older customers often want. Under one arm, Eiji is carrying a reusable bag of groceries from the local organic supermarket. I hope I'm not too late, Eiji said. I brought some veggies and kombucha. Wait. Okay, so I'm above 50%, so he's fine? He's coming over? Alright, I guess Eiji forgave me. Eiji sets the groceries down on the kitchen counter. As he does so, you notice the pale scar that runs along the back of his hand. Eiji doesn't like to talk about his time in a concentration camp during the war, but you know that's from an incident where he got in a fight with another prisoner. You gather he won. Eiji gives a tight smile to Flame. How are you? Or, wait, yeah, what? Yeah, it just says, how are you? He forgot the question mark. Eiji then returns to unpacking groceries. Fine, Flame says. How are you? Good, Eiji says curtly. You think he dislikes Flame, but you're not sure why. Pull Eiji aside and ask what's wrong. Pull Flame aside and tell her not to worry about Eiji. Encourage Flame and Eiji to talk to each other without pulling either side. We'll ask Eiji what's wrong. You beckon for Eiji to follow you into the living room. He follows, looking a little embarrassed, as if he's guilty of being rude. What's this about? I'm just not sure this companion bot is really such a good idea. You're not so great at going around and meeting people, you know. I can take care of myself. Alright, I just worry about you. You and Eiji make your way back to the kitchen. Wait, did that decrease, or... Oh, it didn't do anything. There's a knock at the door. A firm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You open it and find Josh. He's still wearing a button-down shirt and khakis from work. His grudging nod to the fact that his old style doesn't look right on a guy with some gray hair and carrying a large wine bottle case with both hands. A different large bottle of beer sits on each cubbyhole. Noticing your interest, he says, I've got all kinds of stuff here. Belgians, Pilsners, Imperial Stout, some barrel-aged stuff, a chocolate coffee porter. I seem to remember you liked those. He grins. But it's mostly for the robots. Okay. I'm assuming that's supposed to be a reference if I was to actually have asked for a chocolate coffee porter, but whatever. Thanks, you say. This must have cost a lot. Just some things I had lying around, Josh said. Hey, Ig. Hey, Josh, Ig says. Long time no see. Long time no see. You're looking good. Ig says that because, come to think of it, Josh is not looking good. He looks tired, but he gratefully accepts the compliment. Thanks, you're looking good yourself. I bet you still get carded. I do, Ig admits, pleased. Thank you for bringing all of this, Flame says. Wow, what is all of this? Curry says, picking up beer bottles one by one. You can put anything in beer when you're brewing it as the last 5% of the mix or so, and you get a different taste, Josh explains to the robots. Yeah, I have no idea about beer. So I thought this would be a good way to show you all kinds of different tastes in the same context, compare and contrast, like they used to say back in school. You now recall how you had a tough time deciding whether alcohol should decrease inhibitions when the robots tasted it. What did you decide? So this is essentially, did I want my robots to be drunk? They're my personal robots, yeah, sure, fine, whatever. I don't give them alcohol anyway. You decide the robots could drink alcohol with humans without ever becoming tipsy themselves would be seen as less trustworthy. Not only that, but perhaps some experience with bad judgment, slow reaction times, and poor ability to calculate would make them feel a little more sympathy for their own human counterparts, plus 2 empathy. The robots eagerly try a little of each beer, then a lot of each beer. Flame becomes a little less timid over the course of the night, opening up to Josh. Josh, for his part, is enthusiastic about the amazing technology behind Flame, and he's all too happy to sing your praises to her. When the conversation turns to Flame's anatomical correctness, though, Flame is perhaps too frank and doesn't notice that Josh starts to look panicked. You quickly change the subject before Josh's bright red blush starts to endanger his health. Curry gets a little silly and at one point starts to juggle a hunk of sourdough, an orange slice, and an empty beer bottle. Thankfully, this works. Oh, good. I don't want them messing up my house or anything like that. Party bot. Your robot's got a little tipsy. Okay. They're still singular up at 39. Oh, hey, I have chapter 5. I'll read that in a minute. Alright. The night continues with the robots trying one bread after another and sampling all the fruits in turn. The robots linger especially on a hunk of sourdough, calling out the various subtle notes of the taste as they are discovered. Ig seems to enjoy the evening and has a conversation with one of the robots about the chemistry of cooking that puts your long-forgotten knowledge of organic chemistry to the test. Josh proves full of stories about exotic foods he himself has tried over the years from fancy restaurants. Mushroom-flavored push pops. I was like, what? Exotic terrines and French consommé extract attract his particular praise. Okay. Flame is smiling more than you've ever seen since you created her, happy to be partaking in this human ritual, and you're glad your invention is making her happy. Curry's comments about the food are a bit odd, focusing on the individual elements of the chemical composition, like she's reading the back of the box of ingredients. You try to explain how each ingredient contributes to the taste, but the individual elements just don't seem to be coalescing into a meaningful whole for Curie. You then realize that until this point, memorized ingredients lists and recipes from the internet were all she had to go on to infer what foods must taste like, and you suppose it's those individual elements that Curry now finds so interesting. Give me a second. Got those floating lines in my vision right in the middle of my focus area. Hey Ben, Josh says, I've been thinking about getting a companion robot for myself. What do you think about that? You glance at Ig across the room. He's telling Flame about the virtues of local food. That depends, you say. What do you want one for? Josh sighs, I guess I've just come to realize that I don't have time for a relationship in my line of work. I secretly want someone who's going to make dinner and clean and ask me how my day was. That kind of absurd 50s housewife model. But I'd feel bad asking a real woman to be that for me, especially since I know I'd be busy all the time in return, so maybe a robot is just who I want. Josh looks worried for a moment. The robots really are designed to enjoy that kind of lifestyle, right? That's what we've been saying in the ad, so I sure hope it's true. Yes, they're designed to genuinely enjoy serving others, you say. I don't think the public would stand for anything else. Good. To his credit, Josh looks relieved. But would you... You're not sure how to delicately phrase your next question from Josh's immediate blush. You think you know the answer already. Never mind, you say. How sure are you that you want this cooking and cleaning sort of person rather than someone independent? Not very, Josh says. Maybe a housewife robot would be bad for me. I don't know. What should I want? What should I want? I encourage Josh to find romance with a companion bot. I tell Josh that he shouldn't sell himself short. He'd make a real person very happy. I don't know. I'll decide next time. In the meantime, I'll just read Chapter 5. Captain Rogers invited you to military lab. There you saw that Professor Ziegler was copying your work and passing it off his own to the military. Captain Rogers asked you to join the country's war effort. You agreed. You were granted a top-secret clearance. Tammy was worried about being targeted by the government's anti-spy measures and asked her to help, but you weren't very helpful. Don't put it like that, okay? What she was talking about was illegal, and there's no way I could have been involved with it. An agent came to your place to try to get you to lure Aiji there, because he was suspected of being a spy. A man identified himself as Mr. Sun hacked his way into one of your robots and asked you to defect. You did not. In the end, America muddled its way through the war relatively unscathed. Tired of seeing robots used for violent ends, you decided to create a truly beautiful robot. Alright, and then maybe we'll finish this up next time. I don't know. It looks like it's winding down here, but I think there's still somebody that I haven't met. Oh no, Flame! Oh! Okay, so apparently I can actually get... Wait, so why was Curry not... I don't get it. Flame is supposed to be designed to love me unconditionally, yet Curry was not, and Curry doesn't have any sort of relationship bar. Oh well.